Greetings, shippers. It is an impromptu stream. Tonight has been hard, it's been rough, frustrating, so I thought this would be super fun. I've had this game lurking around for quite a while. It does this weird thing though when I click in and out of where I put it, the volume moves. So we will see how that goes. It's real profesh up here. So, hi Artemis. I was trying to get another game to get up, and OBS just decided to fight me. It's still fighting me, but I will not let it win. So we're here for a tale of whimsy and escorting princes. Hi everybody. So I already booted it up, so let's get started. Beware evildoers, for I'm Rosemary, the Night of Winter. Also, let me know about volume. You're noticed, Rosabella. Or should it be the Blade of Winter? Oh, maybe the Rose of Winter? Doesn't that sound impressive? You know, a symbol of hope bursting through the ice? You have to let me know how the volume is. Is the music drowning you out? That's good, right? I mean, it's not too completely embarrassing, is it? Oh well, I'll figure it out. A good nightly sounding title someday. Too high? Too high. That's me adjusting it. How about now? How about now? Are we good? Is that good? Let me know. And I'll continue with the... There we go. All right. My actual name is Rosemary, which isn't very knightish. And as for that Blade Winter thing, well, I'm in a place where it's been snowing a lot. And, you know, to be honest, I just think it sounds cool. Cool stuff doesn't have to make sense, right? Anyway, about a year ago, I left my family's farm to fulfill my destiny and become a knight. Sounds pretty amazing, right? I thought so too. So far, though, I've just been doing odd jobs for gold wherever I can find them. She's grinding. She's grinding her way up to the higher levels. She's fighting monsters in the grass. I've slain the occasional beast and rescued plenty of cats from trees. It's not exactly what I expected, but at least I'm making a living. I guess that makes me more of a mercenary than a real knight. It's still good. It's still good. But hey, I've got a cool suit of armor and my trusty sword, so I'm almost there. Also, look, her sword is huge. Look at that. I hate to admit it, but it's harder to become a knight than I thought. I'll always keep trying, though. My travels eventually brought me to this tavern at the foot of Mount Needle. You wouldn't know it from how cozy it is in here, but the mountain outside is super dangerous. Mount Needle, so named for the freezing winds that pierce your very skin, crawling with deadly beasts that hunger for human flesh. And it's adorable to boot. Only the bravest of the brave dare to venture here. Doesn't that sound like the perfect place for an aspiring knight to find her destiny? Oh, I'm so excited. Anyway, now that I'm here, I've got to find a job, and fast. I spent the last of my gold getting a room at this tavern. Planning ahead isn't exactly my strong suit. Luckily, the tavern has plenty of postings for mercenaries on the job board. I'm gonna head over there. I mean, knights, like me, a knight, qualified, the Rose of Winter. How dare you honk your horn? She's the Rose of Winter. It shouldn't be hard to find a job here. See, beyond Mount Needle lies Starlight City, one of the most beautiful and prosperous places in the world.
People from all kingdoms gather there for important business. To get there, you can either travel by boat for days on end, or take a shortcut over the deadly mountain.
Sounds legit.
Oh, I hope you're doing better, Katisa. Most people take the long way around, but it just so happens there are 4 princes of different kingdoms here at this tavern right now, and not one of them has been assassinated yet. Each of them has urgent business in Starlight City and needs to take the shortcut, however dangerous it might be. Oh, hi, McReese. Also, don't give up on that Supercorp video. They'll need an escort to make it across. That's where I come in. I may not be great at planning, but I've got good instincts, a huge sword, and more than enough strength to use it. I can get a prince across that mountain with my eyes closed. I think. So let's see. The 4 princes are... First is Faulkner, the prince of the Fae, and his mustache. Let us not forget his mustache and, ooh, earring thing. I've heard a little about him. He's supposed to be all dashing and elegant, the perfect gentleman. But the Fae people are also supposed to be really tiny. I mean, I've never met one, but that's what I hear.
And that's a dad stash. I can't unsee it now. How's he gonna handle crossing a treacherous mountain?
Well, I guess it's my job to figure that out. Next is Prince Elgandir of the Southern Kingdom. He's pretty young, like a little kid. The job posting came from his caretaker who is traveling with him. I don't like to judge based on looks, but doesn't he kind of look like a scruffy drifter?
I don't like to judge, but cracks knuckles.
Should a guy like that really be taking care of
the judgment? Well, because he's got some shadow and a raven and a ponytail? Dial that judgment back.
I wonder what the story is there. He didn't even post his name. Third is Tirune, Prince of Dragons, who is, well, it's kind of scary, but he's actually a real dragon. The job posting says he's a fire dragon, so he doesn't do well in cold weather. He has to take a human form to save energy, so he's really weak and needs a lot of help getting across the mountain. Oh well, in that case, this shouldn't be too bad. And anyways, knights deal with dragons all the time, don't they? This should be a piece of cake. Finally, there's Prince Kuya of Moonforest. To be honest, I'm more scared of him than the dragon. His kingdom is really isolated, so no one really knows what his people are like. But the stories say they're all barbaric, fierce hunters with giant claws and fangs like wild beasts. Still, if he's here asking for help like anyone else, he can't be that bad, right? Bad people never ask for help or post on job boards. 100% legit. Okay, maybe there are more jobs than just these 4, but these guys just seem super interesting to me. To us in the chat as well. Look at the blush. And by interesting, I mean hot.
Just in case we didn't get it. She thinks they're hot. Can you hear from the back row?
Look, don't judge me. I've been traveling alone for so long, and I've always dreamed of a fairy tale romance. It's not like I really expect anything to happen. I've never even had a boyfriend before. But maybe this time. Anyway, enough of this embarrassing stuff. I've got to hurry up and pick a prince already.
Ooh, we gotta pick a prince.
I'm assuming this is the save. It's not. It's the log. I'm incompetent.
That's options.
I'm not touching anything else. I'm just gonna have to live with my decisions tonight. That's the kind of night it is. What prince
Do we want... Okay. I feel like... Dragon. I feel like we're deciding between escorting a dragon up the mountain and Kuya. I'm real curious about taking the dragon up the mountain. Also because I'm gonna give Kuya Rex's voice and I can't deal with that right now. Tirune, Prince of Dragons. All the arrangements have been made, so I go downstairs to tell Tirune I'm ready to go. I'm nervous about meeting a real dragon, but I put on a cheerful face. So, yeah, I have my supplies and everything's all set. Oh, I'm Rosemary, by the way. I'm grateful for your help, Rosemary. I'm sorry, that's the voice he gets because he's weak and traveling in dragon human form. Oh, it's that kind of night. I don't often travel in this form. It can be taxing. I expect to need quite a bit of your assistance. No problem. That's what I'm here for. Wow. You've got a lot of layers on there. Cold weather does not agree with me. These robes may look silly to you, but they are necessary. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. You look silly. Never mind. I hope I didn't embarrass him. I can't really tell. His face is as tranquil as ever. I've got to be more careful with what I say. He pretty much looks like a normal person, so it's easy to forget that he's not human. But I have to remember what he really is. A dragon. A really cold, cold dragon. Most people don't ever have an opportunity to see a dragon, much less talk to one. I'm in a rare position, which is cool. And also terrifying. Then again, he's not as intimidating as I expected. Just strange. And sort of pretty. The conference at Starlight City is several days away, but I'd like to get across the mountain as fast as possible. The sooner I get out of this cold, the better. Oh, yes, of course. What should I call you? Your Highness? I am not a highness. I am Tirune, but I have never cared what humans call me. Use whatever name you like. Okay then, Tirune it is. Let's go. We start walking together. The snow under our feet is thick, but the sun is shining. It's actually kind of nice out. Tirune hasn't said a word so far. He stares ahead at the path in front of us, as if I'm not even here. Should I make small talk? I don't think he minds the silence, but this is awkward. What do dragons even talk about, though? I guess I'll have to wing it and hope something sticks. I've, never met a dragon before. Smooth. That's real smooth. That's Rivian level smooth. Besides you, obviously. Pretty decent weather, right? For a frozen mountain of death, that is. Just ellipses, just judgment. Nothing but judgment. You know, for a fire dragon, you're good at giving the cold shoulder. Boom. She'll be here all night. That was meant to amuse me, I suppose. Yeah, I guess so. Wow, good one, Rosemary. Very smooth. We walk in silence for a few minutes longer. But a knight doesn't give up that easy. There's gotta be something he'll talk about. So, what is this thing in Starlight City all about? It's a big deal, right?
business between the dragons and human lawmakers. We must confer and maintain our peace accord. We do our best to respect you and live side by side, but dragons live by much older laws than those you humans wrote. Conflicts arise from time to time. Yes, I got him to talk.
Success!
Now I just have to keep this ball rolling. Oh yeah? What older laws are those? Do you really want to know? Why wouldn't I? The laws of the wind, the sun and moon, birth and death, churning together in time, until there is no distinction between them, as salt and water churns together to make the sea. The pulse of the earth shakes our blood.
What? I'm still him. I got distracted by the chat.
The pulse of the earth shakes our blood, because the earth is our blood, and we are guided by the will of the stars. The lives of all creatures are written in starlight, but only dragons read the words. For we were born from the stars, and knew ourselves to be whole from the rest of the world was unshaped clay, waiting to be given form.
Oh my god. The pedantic.
Oh, that's
how I feel about that too, Rosemary. Neat.
Well, I can't think of anything to say to that.
Tirune is quiet again.
Well, I can't say I didn't try. We've been walking a while now. Tirune is going slowly, trailing a bit behind me. I don't mind walking ahead of him if it means giving him some space.
He is losing body heat. He's losing so much body heat.
Oh no! I'm not sure he likes me very much.
He's fallen behind. You had one job.
It's still early in the day, and the snow blazes white in the sun. I can hear it crunch under my boots, and...
Wait. There's no crunching footsteps behind me. Did Tirune stop walking? Oh gosh, did I lose him? I whip around.
But he's just standing there a few yards back. Oh. I was feeling the pressure there for a minute. Is this the stress went up a little bit? Oh no. Our body heat, he needs it. I can't tell what he's trying to do. He's sort of wobbling in place. Like a turtle that got flipped on his back. I guess those heavy robes don't give him much room to move.
No, he's freezing. Do something.
Tirune? Are you okay?
No, he's not okay.
Hey, Trickster. Once I get closer, I see the problem. One of his huge scarves is caught in a thorn bush, and he's been trying unsuccessfully to pull himself free.
Well, I have an obnoxiously big sword for that.
Why doesn't he just untangle it with his hands? He did say he's not used to his human form, but he has to know it would be easier that way, right? I'm not sure what to do. I mean, he's like 1,000,000 years older than me. He said he needed my help, but I don't want to insult him either.
He needs help. Help your dragon lord. Should we help him? I think this dragon needs some help. I should help.
He's gonna rip his clothes if he keeps that up, and that will just make it worse. I grab hold of the scarf. My arms brush against his body as I lean over him. He stops wobbling and gets very still at my touch. Look, it's not like I'm doing it on purpose. Working slowly and carefully, I managed to get the scarf unhooked from the thorns. There you go. Ah. The scarf has come undone, and he's already trembling, even though he has tons more layers. I knew he was sensitive, but I had no idea it was this bad. Do you want me to help you tie it back on? That would be very kind. If he's embarrassed, I have no way of knowing. Nobody does a poker face like a dragon, apparently. It makes me nervous. I fold the scarf back around his shoulders as gently as I can. It's amazing how light and small his body seems now that I'm handling it up close. My hands seem so big next to him. It makes me feel ungainly. But when I'm done, the scarf looks nice enough. Is that warm enough? I can tie it again if you want. It will do. Thank you. It seems I can count on you for help after all. I'm glad of that. Yes, right choice. Decisions were made. So, you're not mad? You helped me when I needed help. Should I be angry? I guess not. You're different, you know? So I don't really know how to act, and I don't want to offend you. Ah, I see. Don't worry yourself about such things. I don't think you could offend me, even if you tried. Challenge accepted. Because you're like an ancient being, and beyond all that stuff? No. Because you are very sweet. Oh, thank you. Anyway, don't worry about the scarf. Happens to the best of us. Sort of. Can I ask, though, didn't it occur to you to just use your hands? I don't feel comfortable using them. The thorns are so sharp, and these fingers seem so very frail and new. Oh, sure, you can tell hands like these have never seen a day's work. They're so beautiful and manicured. Without thinking, I take his hand in mine. Hey, Luna. My own fingers are thick and calloused, and like the rest of my body, large. His hands are long, soft and smooth. They're dusted with white scales that look delicate and fragile, like glittering jewels. A strange observation. But I suppose you are correct. I have no need to bustle about and keep myself busy as you humans seem to. Oh my gosh. I just grabbed his hand without thinking, without even asking. What on earth is the matter with me? I drop it like a hot potato. Drop it like it's hot. Sorry. Oh gosh, I'm so thoughtless sometimes. Look at its face, he's into it. Why apologize? Your hands are warm. It felt nice. I'm telling you, body heat. In a cave. Ooh, they're on a mountain, so in a cave. Sharing body heat in a cave. We dragons live our lives mostly in isolation. Human touch is a curious novelty. He reaches up to touch my face. My heart starts to flutter like a trapped bird. However, he seems to think better of it and withdraws. The chat doesn't think better of it. Bring that hand back. But if you are sensitive to such things, I will respect your boundaries, as you respect mine. With that, Tirune tucks his hand back under his robes and moves on. He's respect. He respects women. I stand still for a moment watching him. I haven't quite calmed down yet. It's snowing harder now, which makes the going more difficult. All his bundled up layers give him an awkward, ungainly shape. Yet there is something in his calm certainty that gives him dignity, even beauty, as he makes his way through the ice.
Oh my gosh, the chat.
At least until he gracelessly trips and falls flat on his face. Goodness, are you okay?
Goodness. Gee willikers.
I rush over to help, propping him up and brushing away the snow and ice.
Look at that face, he's not okay.
I am not used to this form. It's like being a fledgling again. Really? You shouldn't worry about it. I'm clumsy about all kinds of things myself.
Oh, which isn't to say you're clumsy.
I just mean, sorry. Rosemary, enough apologizing. Tirune doesn't say anything either. He just stares at me. He hasn't spoken to me so sharply before. For a moment, I can't think of anything else to say. Those golden eyes are intense. What is he thinking? Finally, he rests his hand on my shoulder and goes, "Hey." I shall have to stay close to you in case these legs fail me again.
Look at his face. Look, he knows what he's doing.
I may even need to take hold of your arm, if you don't mind. Oh, sure, yes. That's fine. Good idea. He keeps his hand on me as I help him up. His fingers are so long and pretty. I try not to stare too much. And so we set off walking again. This time he doesn't lag behind or move ahead. We're side by side. Every so often he stumbles a bit and leans against me or delicately hooks his arm around mine. I'm going slow to make it easy for him, but we manage to keep a steady pace and walk for a few more hours. We don't talk much, but somehow I don't feel awkward anymore. We're communicating more easily with just touch.
Beyond words. We don't need words. Oh God.
When he presses lightly on my shoulder, I know to help him over a hurdle. When he leans slightly away, I know he's doing fine, and we can walk a little faster. We fall into a nice rhythm. Occasionally, he even smiles at me. He's strange and distant, but I'm getting used to him. Eventually, though, the path gets a lot steeper. It's nothing I can't handle, but I worry about him. It's almost twilight, and the snow falls heavier and heavier. Are you okay? You're shivering. It's this body. I'm not used to it. The slightest breeze seems to go through me. So he's still feeling the cold, even with all those layers. Poor thing. Hey, Demi.
Whew. Huh. All right. How are we gonna play this?
Stop for a moment to rest or put an arm. An arm. He needs that warmth. The heat. We gotta share heat. I have to try and save. Like, I can't live my life like this. Oh, it auto-saves. Yeah, save there. Okay. Now let's be bold. It's a power move. I put my arm around Tirune without missing a beat. Oh, I put my arm around Tirune. Without missing a beat, he presses himself into me. I'm surprised, but I don't mind. I rub his back, trying to help him get warm. After a moment, he stops shivering so much, so I guess it's helping. And I admit it feels nice having an excuse to touch him. He leans his head against me and breathes deeply, smelling my hair. Hair stuff, they're officially married. Uh-oh. Ah, Tirune! He jumps away like I've terrified him. I didn't even know he could move that fast. Hey, you're gonna be cold.
Quiet. I'm fine.
He's obviously not fine, but he turns and rushes ahead of me without looking back. Before long, he stumbles and falls into the snow. I rush over to help, but he lashes out to push me away. His sharp fingernails scratch my skin, not enough to draw blood, but I'm stunned. It's like a cat that I trusted suddenly hissing at me out of nowhere. Slowly, clumsily, he pulls himself up without my help. He winces when his bare hands have to touch snow. I don't get it. Why is he acting like this? Did I do something wrong? We keep walking. Tirune is shivering again, but he won't slow down. I'm not sure what happened back there. I can still feel the sting of his claws on my skin. To my surprise, Tirune is the one who breaks the silence.
I'm sorry if my behavior is confusing. You should know you haven't done anything wrong.
What was that all about anyway?
I take it you don't know much about dragons.
Huh? Why is he bringing that up? I guess not. I just know the old stories. The ones they tell you when you're a kid. But those fairy tales are mostly made up, aren't they? Dragons capturing maidens and devouring villagers. You guys aren't like that in real life. I wasn't sure if I should ask about it, though.
Why not? Are you frightened of me?
Am I? I hadn't thought about that. Not in any serious way. He's so frail and fragile. I can't see him as some monstrous beast. Demi, yes it is. But then, once or twice, I've caught a glimpse of something. Something strange inside him. And when I start really thinking about his true nature, I feel dizzy. Like I'm looking into a well and I can't see the bottom. I don't like it. Tirune chuckles darkly, and I realize I haven't said anything out loud yet.
You're taking a long time. Is it such a hard question to answer?
I'm not sure how I feel exactly.
Tell me this then. Which dragon stories do you know?
What? The stuff for kids? Come on, you don't want to hear that.
I certainly do. A human perspective can be illuminating.
Oh, well, in that case, the one I know best is the story of Camellia. You've probably heard that one, right? It's famous.
Camellia. Please, refresh my memory. I'm old, and these things run away from me over the years.
I feel silly telling bedtime stories, but hey, you asked for it. Let's see. Camellia and the Dragon. She was this woman, the most beautiful in her village, right? She could have married any man, but instead she was wooed by a terrifying dragon. No offense.
None taken.
The dragon promised her eternal love and riches and glory beyond what anyone in the poor village could ever hope to give her. So Camellia fell in love with this dragon, who was named White Heat, and chose him out of all her suitors. The dragon flew her away from the village, promising her safety in his mountain lair. But once they got there, he devoured her, and she was never seen again. Oh! I quickly cut myself off. Why was I so blunt about the devouring part? That must be, like, super rude. But Tirune says nothing. He's not even looking at me. So I guess the point is, don't pick a guy just because he promises you a lot of material things. But I always thought that was sad. Did she deserve to die? Just for wanting a better life? On the other hand, maybe that's just what really happens. People getting deceived by their lovers and stuff like that. I don't know much about relationships, so... You may be overthinking the story's moral. It sounds to me like a simple warning. Stay away from dragons. Tirune turns to stare right into me. His face is passive, but something in his eyes puts me on edge. I'm flustered, but I won't shy away. I stare right back without flinching. I don't know. You're a dragon, and you're nice enough to me. You are very polite. But what if that story is true? What if I told you I was that dragon, and Camellia, my lover? The lover I betrayed and devoured. Would you still think me so nice? What? No, that can't be true. That's impossible. You're just kidding around with me. Right? I do not kid around. I am many centuries old. The story of Camellia and the dragon has endured where other tales were forgotten. It must have a certain resonance. But everyone knows it's just a made-up fairy tale. Is that so? Tell me, what was the dragon's name again? White Heat? And what does Tirune mean in the southern language? I only studied a little bit when I was a little girl. I know Tyr means white, and oh. So you see, I'm called Tirune in the south. There are many words for what I am, but I like that name best. I'm called Prince because my mother is called Queen, although we dragons have no such titles for ourselves. But dragons being monsters and eating people, that's just a fairy tale thing. Or at least real dragons only did that a long time ago, and now we all live together peacefully. That's the whole reason you're going to Starlight City, isn't it? To keep the peace between dragons and humans. You're right. And it was a long time ago that I knew Camellia. A different time, more wild, and in many ways, more honest. It's true that we no longer eat humans, yet we all remember how you taste. Who could forget? Oh my god. Run, girl. You're in danger, girl. For a dragon, human meat is by far the most delicious, nearly irresistible. And I knew, just from her smell, that Camellia would taste better than any other. She was a human worth savoring. You smell very much like her, Rosemary. Oh my god. This took a turn. This went places. I feel very cold inside, and not because of the snow. Our truce with humans. Let us live in peace for many years. Until now. I haven't told you the true purpose of our conference, Rosemary. It is to address the breaking of that truce by one of my kin. A dragon has been eating humans, very many of them. A dragon's occasional slip-up can be overlooked, but this is becoming a crisis for your people, and he is unrepentant. But, why would he do that? I can't pretend I don't understand his actions. It's why I've chosen to stay isolated from them for so many years. The mere smell can be overwhelming. He looks right at me as he says this. I take a few steps back. As a result of this dragon's actions, our peace agreement may be dismantled. If that happens, our future is uncertain. Even the stars don't seem to know. But you're not like that. You've chosen not to eat humans. I mean, except for Camellia. So why are you even telling me this? Are you trying to scare me? Even though they are set in that lovely, delicate face, Tirune's eyes are sharp and fierce. For the first time, I understand fully that I am talking to something ancient, wild, and dangerous. I simply want to know, Rosemary. Do you think I'm telling the truth? Do you believe that I devoured Camellia? Don't. No, 'cause you're good and pure at heart and stuff. I love how the chat's like, he did it. He's guilty. You didn't. I'm a sweet, sweet summer child. No. I can't imagine you would do something so cruel. I haven't known you very long, but you don't look like a monster to me. You look soft and gentle. I just mean, I can't imagine you'd want to eat me. Don't be so certain of that. A chill runs down my spine. My intention is not to frighten you, Rosemary. But you deserve to know what kind of creature you travel with. Let's just stop talking about it for now, okay? We still have a long way to go. He says nothing more, which is fine by me. We keep walking. We did get an achievement. Tirune's weak human form shivers in the cold, and he holds onto my shoulder for balance. His touch is so soft and light, I can barely feel it. I'm happy to keep him steady. He looks so vulnerable now. It's hard to remember how he made me feel so cold inside. As we walk, I do my best to push those dark thoughts out of my mind. Could he really have the soul of a monster? I never had to wonder about things like this back on the farm. All I wanted was to be a knight and fight stuff with my sword and not worry about anything except death. They're in a cave. They're in a cave. It's happening. A little while. I know. He totally ate her. A little while later, we make camp in a cave for the night. We've made good progress so far. It shouldn't take more than another day to get to the city. Tirune seems exhausted. Much more than I would have expected after only a day of travel. What an amateur. His body is shaking again. Worse than before. Tirune, I'm gonna make some barley tea. Would you like some? Or are you hungry for dinner? I do not need to eat, but I will have some tea. It's kind of scary how worn out he is, but I decide not to mention it. Instead, I pour us some tea, and we drink it together. Joey? We're silent for a while. I watch him trying to guess what he's thinking. You're staring at me. I'm sorry. I can't help but wonder. Did you eat your girlfriend? Are you not hungry because you ate something else? I had a large meal of fish before leaving for the city. I didn't mean to imply anything else. My apologies if you were on edge. Haha, sorry. It's been hard not to think about it is all. So, do you mostly eat fish then? Other lovers? Yes. They are very large where I live. The land of dragons and eating chicks. I like to have deer sometimes. When I can get them. I live alone. On a rocky island in the sea. It is much warmer there than here. I feel myself relax. It's nice to talk normally again. Sounds like a nice place. I bet it's pretty. You might think so. Camellia certainly did. Oh my god, stop. You stop it. I can't. Camellia, huh? Let's change the subject. What kind of stuff do you do during the day besides, like, feel the magic of the stars and whatnot? Dragony stuff, like counting your gold pile or something? Oh yes, of course. I also kidnap a lot of innocent virgins. So you'd better watch yourself, Rosemary. Who said I was... Shut up! Ha. There you are. My attempt at joking around. Was it funny? Yeah, hilarious. No, I don't have a hoard of treasure. I mostly spend my time thinking. Remembering. Remembering what? Oh, you know, how I ate Camellia, all the good times before I ate her, then how I ate her and stuff. Lots of things. Yes, I'm wearing a blanket. It's cold. Things that were important to me. Or even things that weren't. 2 stags I saw fighting in a forest. A tree felled by lightning. If it happened, if it was real, I remember it. He totally would have a Tumblr. My memory goes back a long time. I don't need much more than that. Were you really alive before any humans? You said you were born with the stars or something like that. Dragons themselves have existed since the very beginning. I, myself, am only about 1,000 years old. Yet, in dreams, I see the dawn of time, or flashes of my mother's life before me. I wonder if we all don't share the same memory, reaching back to the very first of us. To be honest, it sounds kinda lonely. That's just the kind of thing Camellia would say. You know, Rosemary, I thought you were angry at me after what we spoke of before.
I know, right, Michelle? For he is the Quizzax Hatter.
No, not angry. Just kind of confused and definitely not as scared as I should be. If dragons really love to eat humans so much, is it even safe for me to be here with you? I really wasn't trying to frighten you. Believe it or not, I like you. That's why I want to make sure you're safe, and you'll be safer with a full understanding of the situation. Do humans really taste that good to you? It's strange. I remember a time before I had ever seen a human. Yet, when I am weak and cold, I take this form, which looks like a human, or near enough. Has this face lain dormant inside of me, even before I would have been able to recognize it? Or have our encounters with humans caused us to mimic your form? It's weird to me that you of all people don't have any answers to these questions. Oh, I don't pretend to understand ancient magic. I just live by it and try to give it some thought now and again.
It creates me taste like bagged milk.
You humans are magnetic, or invasive, to put it another way. We dragons have existed before everything, yet humans have had a profound effect on us, more than any other creature in this world. You mean like because of how we taste to you?
Just keep bringing it up, Rosemary. Just keep bringing it up.
Before humans walked the earth, we ate fish and deer and drank water and breathed air. None of these things questioned our right to consume them. We took what we needed and slept when we tired. Sometimes we fought each other, but all disputes were eventually settled by the will of the stars. But when humans arrived, you spoke and felt as we did. You wept and begged or tried to reason for your lives. Despite all appearances, you seemed to be closer in spirit to dragons than you were to the beasts of the earth. Before humans, a dragon's actions were never right or wrong, but now we wondered if eating a human was evil. The stars were curiously silent on the subject. You might say that humans brought evil into our world. Perhaps the temptation to do wrong is what makes you so delicious to us dragons. What do you think? I don't know. I think that terms like good and evil are very limited ways to describe the world.
That doesn't make me feel any better.
It wasn't meant to.
You know, it's kind of strange. When I hear you talk like that, I feel excited. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. Shall we just, I feel excited. I just can't hide. It makes my heart beat faster.
Are you sure that isn't just fear? Oh, sure, it's scary, but it's not just that. I left my home, which was cozy and safe, to try and be a knight. I want to live by my sword and my wits to fight stuff and get strong. You are already strong. Okay, stronger. Sure, I want to be a knight so I can do good things and protect people. Am I? But I'd be lying if I said I didn't love the thrill of it. Fighting beasts 10 times my size and going places I've never gone before.
Girl, she wants to go where she's never gone before.
And staring death in its stupid face. It sounds like that's the kind of world you live in. It makes me wish I were a dragon too. I'm surprised you would say such a thing. You seem so sweet and kind-hearted to me. Yeah, well, that's how you look to me. Looks can be deceiving. Ha! I'm not totally serious. Of course, I don't really want to stop being a human or anything like that. But wow, I don't know how to describe this feeling.
Thirst. It's called thirst.
You live by strength, take what you need, and don't care about anything else. You're so lucky. I'm very tired. Will you help me take off my robes so I may sleep? Oh, sure. My hands are trembling. Slowly, carefully, I peel off his robes, layer by layer. I try not to, but when I let my eyes drift to his face, I see him watching me. I feel warm all over. The more robes come off, the more I can feel his body, and the more my hands feel rough and clumsy, dealing with his delicate frame. Underneath his winter layers, he is long. I know, sexy sax. He is long and slender. His scales run over his chest and arms. I really want to touch and see what they feel like. But of course, I never would.
I don't believe that for a second. I have a junior mint stuck to my finger.
He falls asleep quickly, but I lie awake for a little while, watching his slim chest rise and fall. I don't want to take my eyes off of him, but I don't know if it's out of fear or some other feeling that's harder to describe. Some kind of thirst. We set out again at sunrise. I feel refreshed and a little more calm. Tirune, however, is still weakened and exhausted. Do you need extra help walking today? No. I'll find my footing. But it is kind of you to ask. He stays close to me as we start down the path. We spoke a great deal about me and my kind yesterday. I want to hear about you. What about you? I feel I hardly know anything about you. Gosh, I'm not sure what to say. Do you really want to know about me? I told you, I don't kid around. Remember, my attempt last night didn't go over very well. Ha, good point. Well, let's see. About me. I grew up on a farm with my parents and my brothers and sisters. As you know, I left home to be a knight. It hasn't worked out so well, but I'm trying. Ah, a brave and chivalrous knight. I've come across a few of those in my time. You wanted to slay monsters, did you? I guess you could say that. You said that last night. What else? What sort of things do you like? What do I like? Oh, I like lots of things. I like all of these things.
Just go full Rami Malek.
I'm a fan of swords. I'm a fan of songs. I'm a fan of flowers.
I don't know why I'm like, this is a pivotal moment. This needs a save.
Swords. I mean, she's got a big sword. Just swords. I think swords. I guess it goes without saying I like swords. I've been practicing with them since I was a little girl. I'm pretty good now. I like reading about swords too, not just using them. Every place I go, I try to learn about the weapons and tools they use there. There's so many different kinds, from all different kingdoms in the world. Like, you can tell I'm from the farmlands in the North Country because our fighters always use great swords like mine. Even tiny things like that, they all tell a little story about you. I find that comforting, I guess. I'm sorry. I hope that wasn't too boring. Not at all. You little ones have such short lives. You search for meaning in every detail. I've always found it interesting, the way you collect sentimental trinkets and decorate your homes. I never thought of it like that. That's really condescending. I guess you don't decorate your lair at all? Oh yes, of course. I have a lovely armchair and floral rug in the southern corner of my cave. You should definitely go back to not telling jokes. If you say so. And you don't have a lover.
So, how's your sex life? What? What makes you say that?
It's just a guess. Although an educated one. Do you?
No. What about you?
Not since Camellia. Camellia. It's so strange to think that she was a real person. Someone you actually knew. And ate.
She must have been really pretty. That's what's to take away from this.
She wasn't, actually. She was certainly not the most beautiful woman of any village, as your fairy tale described. Nor, frankly, the smartest, or even the most kind-hearted. But she had a way about her. It made you feel like she was the most important woman in the world, and you would do anything just to make her happy. You remind me of her in some ways. Oh, thank you. Although I'm not sure that was supposed to be a compliment. And also, he's talking about someone he might have eaten alive. Yet, those don't sound like the words of the person who killed her. Or do they? He hasn't actually said he did it, but he hasn't denied it either. He keeps talking about the ancient ways of dragons and good and evil and stuff.
What do I know about things like this? I know his description.
Is love always this complicated? What do you mean? You don't love him, girl. He says nothing more, and we keep walking.
You are lusting after him, though. Real hard. Uh-oh. A river crossing.
The wind is colder today. The sky clouded over. This journey has been easier than I expected, but Mount Needle may still earn its reputation. We come to a rushing river and find the wreckage of the bridge I'd intended us to cross. Oh gosh. Can he assume dragon form though? And can we just like fly across? That would be really convenient if we could do that. My leg fell asleep. It's also the only bridge around for miles. Well, excuse my language, but this is a bit of a pickle. Language. Oh, get some sleep, Grim. In my true form, I could step right across a river like this. And that's definitely not an option? No, even maintaining this useless shape is exhausting in the cold. Then I'll just have to carry you across. Is that entirely necessary? We could walk along the bank and hope we find another bridge, but that might take hours, and we don't even know if there is one. You want to get to the city quickly, right? You'll get wet, and so will our supplies.
Oh my god, Denton, I know. I'll carry both of us, Mr. Frodo.
We can make a fire and dry up, and anyway, I came prepared for this kind of thing. The supplies are wrapped up and waterproof. Very well. Tirune draws close to me. I put my arms around his waist and lift. Even with his supplies of robes, he's shockingly light. Even with his piles of robes. What am I reading? He puts his arms around my shoulders. I can feel his skin brush just for a moment against my face. Even his scales are light and soft. It's easy to lift him high enough that the water won't touch him. This will be a piece of cake, I hope. Carefully, I step into the rushing water. The current is strong, but the river isn't too deep or even all that far across. Ideally, I'd throw a rope across to try and steady us, but I can't do that while I'm carrying him at the same time. Tirune says nothing, but I can feel him shivering in my arms. I can do this. Don't worry. I trust you, Rosemary. His body shakes, but his voice is steady. Maybe he really does trust me. I guess I have to trust him too. We start across the river. I take it one step at a time, carefully seeking out good footing so we don't slip. The freezing water rushes around my legs, but I keep my balance. Good night, Henry. I can feel Tirune holding tight, but I won't let him fall. Midway across, the water is up to my chest, but I think that's as high as it will go. We're in good shape. I'm holding Tirune steadily out of the water. We're almost there, just a little more. All of a sudden, the wind begins to shriek. Tirune's long hair whips into my face and eyes, and the freezing water froths around us. A blanket of black clouds overtakes the sky. That's all the warning we get. And suddenly the snow crashes down in thick, suffocating sheets. This awful mountain is known for its sudden, violent storms that come and go in the blink of an eye. I should have known the weather was way too good to be true. Rosemary. Don't worry. I've got you. A blast of snow hits me like a cannonball. I fall. Tirune tumbles into the river and disappears in the freezing foam. It happens so quickly, it hardly registers. No. No! I won't let this happen. I can't let this happen. I am a knight. I will protect my prince. My hands find a jutting rock and grabs hold. I pull myself up out of the water and try to make sense of what's happening. My body aches with cold, but every ounce of my strength is dedicated to keeping myself focused. A flash of a scaly arm breaks out of the water ahead, desperately grasping the air. He's still close enough that I can reach him. Tirune, hold on, I'm coming. The wind screams. The river roars around me. I block it all out and lunge forward, grabbing hold of Tirune and dragging his body up out of the water. I have no idea how long it takes to make it to the other side. I'm giving everything I have just to hold us together. Tirune is heavy in my arms, soaking wet and freezing. But I hold on tight. I'll never let go of him again. We make it out of the river. The snow is heavier than I've ever seen. Tirune looks diminished, pale. His body is shaking violently. I'm scared. You saved me. Are you kidding? I'm the one who put you in danger. No, it was the river that almost killed me. It would have, if not for you. My eyes burn with tears. No, there's no time to cry. We won't be safe until I get us somewhere warm. I go to my pack for supplies, but it was ripped apart in the jagged rocks when I fell. Our food, tents, medicine, and clothes, everything we need to make a fire for the night, all lost to the river. My heart plummets. The only thing left is one thick winter cloak, wrapped in sealskin to keep it dry. The cold pounds away at me like a hammer, but Tirune looks much worse. You wear the cloak, Rosemary. You need your strength to save us both. How could you even suggest that, Tirune? You're already sensitive to the cold. You look like you're about to... I am much older than you. I have lived through worse than this. But his voice fades even as he says the words. Oh my God. I think he needs the cloak. I mean, I think we're okay. He needs that cloak. I think he needs it. We need a cave. I wrap the cloak around Tirune and start moving again. The snow is like knives sliding through my armor and into my skin. I ignore the pain and carry him as fast as I can. Barely aware of what I'm doing, I manage to find a small cave in the cliffside. And I prepare to valiantly share my body heat. I pull us into it. It's cold, but dry. I set Tirune down gently, and then my legs collapse out from under me. I'm on the ground. Did I hit my head? I can't remember. Huh? That's strange. I thought I felt fine, but now it's all catching up to me at once. My head swims. My body aches with a cold so sharp it almost burns. I'm fading, but it's okay. No matter what happens to me, at least I kept him safe. That's what a real knight would have done. Minutes or hours might have passed. I have no way of knowing. I wake to find Tirune's burning eyes staring into me once more. His face is so near. But why? Am I dreaming? He kisses me softly on the forehead, and beautiful warmth blooms inside me. If this is a dream, it feels real. Another kiss, and another, on my cheeks, my eyelids, my nose. Each touch of his soft mouth sparks a surge of heat all through my body. At last, I feel his kiss on my lips. The heat anchors me to life. I don't know if it's dragon's magic or what. All I know is that it saves me. You did not do as I said. That was very stupid of you. Yeah, I know. I see he has taken off my armor, which was freezing and wet, leaving me in my underclothes, relatively dry. If I weren't so exhausted and cold, I might feel embarrassed. Right now, though, I'm just so happy we're both okay. Tirune, our supplies are gone. I don't know how we're going to keep warm. Well, after all that, we might still freeze to death. No, we will not. I cannot take my true form here, but I am still a dragon. His golden eyes begin to glow. Something's happening, but I'm not sure what. He takes my hand in his and guides it beneath his innermost cloak to press against his slim chest. Just under his scaly skin is what feels like a molten core, blazing hot, a furnace inside him. His dragon heart. I move closer and lay against him. He adjusts his last dry cloak so we are both wrapped up in it, sharing the fire blazing inside him. A warm little bubble, safe from the howling wind. Tirune. Yes, Rosemary. I remembered what I'd learned about Camellia, but before I can tell him, I drop like a stone into sleep. In the morning, in spite of it all, I'm refreshed. My joints are stiff and cold, but I'm ready to get moving. Tirune stirs and brushes my hair gently out of my face. Good morning. Morning. We're still holding each other. I don't think about it. It's just a natural motion. But I lean into him, and we share a kiss. Girl. That's the power of body heat and the cave. I'm telling you, stranded in a cave. Stranded in a cave. It's just a small one. We barely brush each other's lips. Still, it's my first kiss. I never imagined it would be like this, but he's just so beautiful and so warm. I couldn't help but want to kiss him. Tirune stares at me, then takes my face into his hands. He kisses me again and again, increasingly urgent, increasingly fierce. That kiss awakens some desperate need inside him, and now he can't get enough. It's nice, but the way he's pressing his face against mine, it's a little hard to breathe. I don't mind exactly, but I'm a little worried. Suddenly, I feel a sharp pain in my lip as he bites down hard. Ow! I didn't mean to cry out, but I couldn't help it. Tirune doesn't stop, not immediately. I feel his sharp teeth against my lips. After a moment, though, he seems to freeze in place. Maybe he realized what he was doing. He pulls away and stares at me with wide, scared eyes. No, you didn't have to stop. It's okay. I can't finish my sentence because, almost on cue, tears spring to my eyes. I don't mean to cry. It's just a reaction to the pain in my lip. I try to force it to stop, but that never works. Rosemary, I am so sorry. No, it's okay. I was just surprised, and it hurts a little, but I don't mind. I really don't. I liked kissing you. He stands and walks quickly away. The sudden loss of his warmth is hard to bear. With his back to me, he struggles to put his winter layers back on, which have dried in the night. His weak hands fumble and slip. Come on here, let me do it. I help him get dressed, but he still won't look at me. Are you mad about the kiss? I'm sorry, Let's just go. We've lost a night to the storm. It's calm now. We can try to find food first, or... No, we're leaving. His tone is final. There's nothing more I can say to him. We leave the cave and start the last leg of our journey. The snow is thick on the ground, but the wind has died down. I'm less worried about that, though, than I am about Tirune's cold silence. He rushes ahead of me, turns so that I can't see his face. Tirune, take it slow. We almost died last night. It's okay if you're still weak. I hired you to simply guide me. You do not tell me what to do. What? Where's this coming from? Come on, don't be like that. I just want to help you. Why? I didn't expect to have to explain this. Because I like you. I thought you liked me too. I wouldn't mind kissing you again. That was my first kiss, you know? And yeah, it hurt when you bit me, but I don't really care. My face is burning. I can't believe I'm actually saying this out loud. But when Tirune turns to finally face me, he looks angrier than I've ever seen. No, not angry. He looks inhuman. You are young, but you are not a stupid child. Why are you behaving like one? How much clearer can I be about this? I am a dragon. What you like is this weak body, but it is not really me. My real mouth is not soft and gentle. If I were to bite you with it, you would not survive. My fangs are as long and sharp as your sword. I could tear you apart. I could swallow you whole. I want you. I want to, but I want you to. Do you understand? I want to eat you right now. I want it more than I want to breathe. If you were smart, you'd be scared of me. You'd be afraid for your life. He's hissing, low and dangerous, right in my face, but I've learned not to look away. I'm not afraid. You didn't eat Camellia, and you won't eat me. When I worked for those scholars, they were learning about her, the woman Camellia was based on. She was a real person, but she wasn't eaten by a dragon. She married a duke and lived to an old age. They thought the dragon was a metaphor for a political struggle or... I am not a metaphor. But you also didn't eat her. I wanted to. I wanted to eat her so badly. I loved her, and she loved me. We were together for a time. She wanted to be with me forever, but the feelings were so intense. I loved her, but I also wanted what I want with you. Right now, I couldn't trust myself, so I forced her to leave. I would have killed her if she hadn't. She cried and screamed for me as I flew away, but she went on to live her own life. I'm very happy for her. How could you do that? What's wrong with you? Weren't you listening? I saved her life. You don't know that. You don't know what you would have done. And anyway, she knew what you were, and she still wanted to be with you. Maybe she thought the risk was worth it, or maybe she was tougher than you thought. Either way, she made her own choice. If you really loved her, you should have respected that. I bet she never forgot you, just like you never forgot about her. But she had to live her whole life without you, and now she's dead, and it's too late. Oh, it's too awful to even think about. You have a young person's idea of love. She married the Duke. I'm sure she was happy. Eventually. True love isn't worth risking everything for. Maybe, but that doesn't mean that what she felt wasn't real. You should have honored that and... What I feel is real too.
What do you feel?
I like you, Tirune, and after we're done with this job, I want to see you again. I'm curious. Do dragons fall in love with each other?
Not in any way a human would recognize, and not in ways that last. When we began to meet and talk with humans, some of us began to share that feeling for the first time, though we did not know what it was.
That's what I thought. So as a human, I might even understand more about love than you do.
Please, listen to me. To eat a human is to taste sweet ambrosia. It's even better if it's an exceptional person, like Camellia or like you. How do I know what I feel for you? It's impossible to tell if I love you or if I just want you.
He may try to eat me, but I can handle it. He'd never eat me. I trust him. He'd never eat me. I mean, he may try to eat me, but I can handle it. You can try to eat me if you really can't help it. But remember, I'm a knight. Knights slay dragons. If you try it, I'll have to fight back. Trust me, I won't go easy on you. I've slain plenty of beasts before. It's better for you to let me do what I want. That got real rapey, Rosemary. And what I want is to be with you. That is, if you want me to. He's looking at me now, like he's seeing me for the first time. He's at a loss for words, as am I. I too am at a loss for words. It was not what I expected.
Rosemary, I wish that the alerts would stop popping up on the computer.
Well, actually, I guess I'm not a real knight yet, but I think my point still stands.
You are as real a knight as I have ever met.
He draws me close, cradling my face in his hands, and we kiss. I put my arms around him and pull him into me. He stiffens at first, but soon relaxes into my embrace. You can feel how strong I am, right? So don't worry. I can handle myself.
Perhaps you can.
Hey, we made it. At last, we make it off Mount Needle. Starlight City lies in view just a few miles away. We're exhausted, hungry, chilled to the bone. Yet somehow I feel light and giddy. We conquered the mountain. It's much warmer now, but still too cold for Tirune to change form. There's so much I want to say to him, but before I get the chance, we're greeted by a stranger. I can see White Heat made it down. Doing all right there, old man?
Rana, don't speak to me. This whole mess is your fault. We will put a stop to it.
His fault? So this is...
Yes, this is the dragon who has been eating humans. Rana, you insolent whelp.
You make it sound like such a bad thing, old-timer. Don't you take any pride in what you are? I don't care what anyone says. It's all right to eat lesser creatures. You used to understand that, but you've withered and gone soft with age. The stars cry out for us to consume all those who are beneath us. Who are you to deny them? Besides, if we don't eat humans, they just die in a few decades anyway. What a waste of good food. Say, what do we have here? Rana looks me up and down, and I tense up, grabbing the hilt of my sword. My blood runs cold, but I do my best not to show it. Shall we have a quick meal before the conference, Tirune? There's no one here to scold us for it after all. We can just say you lost her on the mountain. I know you want to. I can smell your hunger. You're famished. A sudden and intense heat explodes from Tirune. His entire body shimmers and glows. Before I can blink, there stands before me an immense and powerful dragon, gleaming hot and bright, as if the sun shines on him alone.
Whoa. You shouldn't be able to take that form, not here. What is this? Rana, we are both dragons, but compared to me, you are an infant in mind and body. If you ever harm a human again, especially this one, you will answer to me. Is that clear?
Rana can't answer. He's too busy fleeing into the woods as fast as his clumsy human form can run. Soon, it's just the two of us again, alone, together. Tirune turns his great head towards me. He is strange, inhuman, and unbelievable, yet deeply familiar.
Do you see now? This is the truth of what I am. Could you love a creature like this? I could eat you right now. It would be easier than anything.
So do it already. He leans his massive head closer to me. I've never seen anything so large. I feel a little dizzy just looking at him. But he doesn't open his vicious jaws. Instead, he nuzzles me, soft and gentle. I close my eyes and kiss his great scaly nose. When I open my eyes again, Tirune is back in the human form I know so well, looking surprised at himself.
There were a few times on the mountain when I was really sure I would eat you. But once I saw Rana, I couldn't imagine letting anyone do that.
Thank you, Tirune.
You know, only a true knight can stare into a dragon's eyes without fear.
You really think so? That's sweet. You're a big softie deep down.
We should get to the city. The conference will be starting tonight.
Oh, right, of course. And so Tirune makes his way to the Capitol building. I end up hanging around the city on my own. I worry a bit about running into Rana, but I guess he's at the conference too. It's just me, all by myself. The city is amazing and a little overwhelming. I'm not used to seeing so many people in one place. I get my armor cleaned, my sword sharpened, I eat real food at the tavern, and pick up some dry clothes. I still have plenty of gold left over for whatever it is I'm doing next. Tirune only hired me to take him across the mountain. There's no reason for me to stay here. We didn't talk about meeting up again. I don't know if he's going to come find me, but I can't bring myself to leave yet. I don't see him again until the next day. I'm sitting on a sidewalk bench when I feel a familiar hand on my shoulder.
Hello again. I'm glad you are still here.
Ha! I'd never leave without saying goodbye. How'd the conference go?
The dragons and human leaders spoke for a long time. There are no simple solutions for what has happened. Rana's crimes are not easily ignored, their trust in us is shaken, and justifiably so. The future is still uncertain. But I have hope we'll rebuild our faith in each other. And Rana, at least, will not be breaking the peace agreement anymore. He's dead. I killed him. I've seen to that personally.
I told you, he's dead. He's pretty scared of you, huh?
And with good reason. I killed him.
I bet.
I can't personally stop all dragons from ever eating a human again. But you've given me a lot to think about. Perhaps I've been isolated too long. I can try harder to make some difference.
So, what do you think you're gonna do now? Just out of curiosity, I guess.
I'll be flying south to tell the lesser dragons the news of what has happened here. I may pay a visit to my mother, the queen, on the way. After that, I don't know what I'll do. I suppose the stars will tell me.
Well, if you're going south, maybe I could come with you?
Why would you want to? There's nothing for you there.
Ouch, man. You don't think so? It'd be so amazing to be the one human in a council of dragons. That's the kind of thing they tell stories about. And mostly, I could spend more time with you. We're very different, but I want to try to understand your ways, your life. I think we have a lot to teach each other.
I don't know what to say. It will be frightening to be among other dragons. They are not like me. I can try to protect you, but I can't promise I'll be able to. Do you really trust me that much? Are you sure this is what you really want?
Well, I've been thinking about what I want to do while you were away. To be honest, I have no idea what I want. All I know is what I don't. I don't want to just watch you fly away like Camellia had to, knowing I'll never see you again, knowing neither of us was brave enough to try. I take his face in my hands and I kiss him. The heat of his body warms me to my toes. I can feel him start to change. When I open my eyes, I'm looking into the eyes of a great white dragon. I've already faced 2 dragons so far. I'm still alive. I think I can handle myself. Don't you?
Yes, I suppose I do.
Soon I find myself riding on Tirune's back, flying south. Flying on a dragon's back is... well, let's be honest, it's terrifying, but it's also incredible and exciting, and I feel free. I guess that's how Tirune makes me feel, all the time. I have no idea what will happen in the future. Walking among a council of dragons way out in the wilderness, being the only human around for miles. Who knows what could happen? It's pretty scary to think about, but it also makes my heart race in a way that feels good. I'll have Tirune with me. I'll have my sword. A true knight never lets fear stop her. Especially when she's facing a dragon. Yeah! That was really cute. Oh, that cheered me up. I am mightily cheered. Did you guys enjoy? Did you have fun? Do you want to come back and have adventures with the rest of the princes? 'Cause I definitely do. That was very cute and a lot of fun. Oh, the last achievement, Katie said, Dragon Rider. We're a rider of dragons. I like to let the credits play out.
And the credits show me that my game was always slightly askew the entire time. That's good to know. I'm an incompetent YouTuber. Woo! Still good. Still a good stream. Thanks so much for joining me. And I will see you all again soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, night, whatever it is for you. Bye-bye.